Dummy Switch Pod. The boys are
Yes,
back. How are you,
sir. Yes,
Chris?
sir. Oh, Kudas, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. How you doing?
It's
Hey,
it's 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 it's
you
test
know.
week, test week, and it's the real test week, not Qatar Cup. It's the real. There's no cup up
Yeah,
for grabs here, but it's an important series.
yeah. No, 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 no. Look, this is big, outside of the World Cup final, this is a big one for this team, considering that they haven't beaten Ireland in a minute,
Yeah,
and yeah, this one it's about keeping mouths closed, shutting people up. So
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, we're here to dig deeper into that. The Dan Carters of podcasting. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can find us here. And yeah, we're here to talk about who's the best team in the world because some have opinions, some have terrible opinions, and some have differing opinions as well. To say that maybe it's Ireland, maybe it's South Africa, but I think let's start with news of the day, which is team
Mhm.
announcement. Um, for the most part, I'd say it's what we expected.
Yeah,
Where I can say 50-50 calls would go. If I'm going from the pack down, we expected that front row. It was just whether
yeah,
Marks was going to start or Mbonambi was going to start, how they were going to manage Marks.
true,
Further
true.
down we go, Kwaka at 8.
Yeah.
That could have been. I predicted Kwaka at 8. That's what I thought what
Mm,
was going to happen.
mm,
But I
mm.
mean, it could have easily been Roos at 8. It could
Yeah,
have, that was another 50-50 call. Further we go down in the team, the only other points where you could say things might change were the wings, and that was just all depending on their fitness. It was never.
yeah,
I never thought was gonna start. I never thought.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's just whether Curtly Arends. I know he played in the final. He didn't look himself. Colby was released. Colby came back.
yeah,
LaRue
yeah.
didn't play in the final, so there's just fitness issues there.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's like in the backs. That's really either way, I think we're going to be covered with the quality that we've got, So it's good to have those guys back, that's one thing for sure, lethal weapons out there. We hope that they can, put it together,
Yeah,
the Guaja selection. Yeah, you called it quarters, you called it. I think, Gala Grosso feel a bit like, hard done, but I guess there is a plan, and you can't see anything really wrong with that Guafa selection. It's just the young man's got to wait his turn at the end of
yeah.
the day, So
Yeah, I
so
think let's go to the bench as well. Marks on the bench. We'll see. I don't know if I would have started him. At the same time, you don't know what kind of impact he's going to give off the bench, which is also a bit tricky.
yeah,
So
I'd
I
rather they
mean,
that one.
either way, Steenekamp, I thought he should get a go. Trev is possibly someone that has missed out, one of the bigger names, but we'll
Yeah,
get to the guys that missed out later. Besides Rus, obviously, who Van Staden is there, I maybe would have gone Rus, but seeing Van Staden there, I don't mind it either.
yeah. That it's the riches, man. It's those riches again where when that 23 gets put out,
Yeah.
especially in a big week like this, when you look over it, you just like, yeah, man, this is a stacked team. You feel sorry for some of the guys that just missed out, but you can't really have
I think it's also
real
because
issues.
Rus, I see him as someone that can play 6, 7, and 8. When you look at Van
Mm,
Staden, you just think of him as purely 6. But
six.
I mean, he has played in other positions before, so I guess,
Yeah,
and the experience and how he has been playing for the Bulls. I'm not
yeah.
fighting the selection.
No, no. No, no, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. And I think even that Steenekamp selection as well, like we said, he had been there. And I think
Yeah,
also that sort of that momentum from the Leinster game, yes, the Glasgow game didn't go well for the Bulls as a team, but I think, yeah, he's been showing some good performances, So think maybe there's something there, definitely because they wanted, he was in the backups last year at the World Cup.
Yeah.
So, what?
I can't speak on Trev's form. I'm not that deep
Yeah,
into the top
we're not
14,
versed
but
into top
yeah, but I will
14.
say Steenekamp, he's a guy on form at the moment. Then we get to the
Yeah.
real decisions here. I think we all knew Grant Williams was going to be there, and then player number 23. I suspected it as well, purely because of
Yeah.
his versatility as a utility
Yeah.
back. And then Rassie has come out and said that Sacha Feinberg and Gomez Zulu has taken over from Mani Libbok on the bench,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
because of his ability to play 12, 15, and
Mm.
even 10. Whereas
And
Libbok, if Libbok comes in, Pollard's got to go to 12. Then so
yeah.
and so's got to move to the wing. Then so and so's got to move to
Yeah.
fullback. So
Hey, you know what? We can understand, but it's also like I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's one of those ones where, but it's also clear as well that this is the guy that they putting their hat on to say, okay, man,
yeah.
for the future, we want to get him, acclimatized and fully, up to speed ASAP, so that in
Maybe
the
too
event,
much up to speed. Maybe too much up.
yeah,
It seems, I don't know. It seems like they've placed a lot of faith in him that they haven't been placing in other kind of players coming through. It's he's already the golden boy
yeah.
of Bokrag.
No doubt, no doubt, he's got that thing. It's like that thing that also that Pollard had. Remember when Pollard was also getting the
Yeah,
selections, and so look, you can't take away that from him, but at the same time, you got to feel for the other kids, is that
yeah,
like, yeah, like I say, we understand, but I also don't understand, in that
yeah,
sense. But definitely the quality that he brings, there's no doubt, if we're being honest as well, if he comes on at 15, I think he can do a job. We've seen him do a job for the
yeah.
Stormers, you know,
100%.
even if he had to play in the midfield, I think he's good enough. But I also think the goal kicking aspect comes into play a
Yeah,
bit here, so, and yeah, maybe also possibly the physical attributes, but also, that work rate that they call for. I think in one of the games you saw him come back, make try like a double tackle, try saving tackle, that like things like that. Maybe there's those little extras that is
yeah,
showing a bit more, So look, good on him. And at the end of the day, it's a very strong Springbok team,
yeah,
but there's still obviously, not everybody's going to be happy. Let's be honest. But Oksala, out of
yeah,
this one, it's do or die really, because you only get two shots. It's not three where you
yeah,
can, if you miss the first one, you can get back on it the second and the third. This is two, and if this is about, yes, we're the world champions. Yes, we're number one in the rankings. Yes, we are the best rugby nation, but now it's just a matter of putting that full stop and underlining it to say, right, now don't argue anymore. And
yeah.
they have to put it out in this game.
We'll get to
There's
that.
no,
We'll get to that. Let's just continue selections first. If we're talking about selections,
yeah.
players that have missed out: Lucanio Arm,
Okay.
Ruiz,
Yeah.
Libbok, Trev.
Yeah.
I'd say those are
Mm.
the names that stick out in
Yeah, they
terms of
do.
okay,
Even
Libbok,
Reinach, considering that, they
true,
they they, they did speak about him, so even him as well.
true, but I don't think
But no,
that's
we
one
must put
name
his
that
name there.
yeah,
But
we
we
can put
must put
his
his
name
name.
there. Yeah, we can put his name there. I think obviously Sasha, yeah, I mean it's a good explanation, so on and
Yeah,
so forth. But
we
at the end of
understand,
the
but we
day,
don't.
Libbok is a better 10. That versatility has won him the thing. Uh, not happy about. I mean, I'm not sad about it. I mean, I'm not sad about it, but we'll
Yeah,
see Lucanio Arm as well. It seems like he's fallen out of favor, especially in public opinion. There's a few guys that
yeah.
are saying Lucanio's
No,
washed now.
no, I think he's still got that quality. It's just that JK's just made it. He's made it hard for him to get back, and that's what you want,
Yeah,
actually. The guy, like, whoever is the custodian has got to, put that level, those levels up, and that's what he's done. We can't take that away from him. I thought that you'd at least cut the 23. possibly because of, the injury clouds that are hanging around, the Colbys, Arendse, and Leroux. I thought maybe he'd crack. Yeah,
I
but
think
yeah.
he suffers from the same thing that Libbok suffers from, in that yes, he can play 12 and he can play wing, but not to the same. He's not a utility back. He's a 13. If you're picking him in
Yeah,
the
it's a
matchday squad,
13.
he's a 13.
True, true.
Even in terms of the bench, like you're not really gonna have a bench 13. So I
Yeah.
think he
Unless
falls
he's a
victim
kind
to
of
the same
13
thing.
that comes on and just does something out of this world every time,
Yeah.
then it's a different case. But, yeah, yeah. It's a tough one, it's a struggle for him, it's a long road back basically into that starting lineup.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had much game time, and there's people that will say, "Oh no, he's still injured. He's still injured." Even if he was,
Yeah.
from my understanding, he's available. They said he's available. They've said he's not 100%, but which player in that camp is 100%? Because I can guarantee
Mm.
you guys are still carrying knocks from Bulls versus
Yeah,
Warriors. Guys are still carrying knocks from Wales. Guys are still, no player there is 100%, 100%.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yes, he was available for selection. You can say he's not as ready to go as maybe you would have liked, but still an option there. Ruiz, he misses out, obviously, I
mm,
think more so due to experience. And I think Rassie backing his guys. Trev,
yeah.
I think maybe he'll get a shot at some stage.
Do you, do you
Maybe in the
think
next test match.
do you think if I may ask this, do you think maybe Russ there's that maybe that discipline thing hanging over his head, those silly moments thing? Maybe. I'm just
I
asking.
I don't think I don't think that he I don't think so. Personally, my
Okay.
personal view is that
Yeah.
no. I think he suffers from not being a favorite child. He suffers from the he doesn't have the Muratacism.
Yeah.
The where you are captain at Pal Boys, and then you are captain at SA schools, then you
He
are
says the what?
captain at under the
He says the what?
Muratacism. It's something that Murat has that has gotten him into this team sometimes where he shouldn't even be in this team. You know what I mean? And there's players that have that thing, There's other Sasha's also, he's got it to an extent where Sasha's got the thing of,
No,
he's
you've got the Muratas. Yeah, no, but I like him. But I hear what you're saying. No, that's
yeah,
legit.
there's certain
It's,
guys that they're gonna say no, he has those qualities, those
yeah.
leadership. I don't care about leadership qualities to, if I'm picking a match day squad, I'm gonna have my captain and my leaders. Murat is
Yeah.
not a leader in that group. So if you're
No,
telling me about his being under
he's
20,
been no, he's been groomed. No, I'm
yeah,
one for the
but what I'm
Muratasism.
saying is
I'm
right now
one for
that
the
doesn't matter.
Muratasism.
Right now that doesn't matter. Right
Yeah,
now we've got
true.
captain. See us
Yeah,
the captain already. We don't
yeah,
need another
yeah.
captain.
No, I hear you. And we got Eben as well. He's in there.
Yeah, so
Bonambi's in
we've
there
got
as well.
Mbonambi as well. Half of these guys have been
Yeah,
captains at some stage in their lives.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't like when it also gets leaned on to say, yeah, no,
yeah.
but he was also SA School's captain, and he's always give it
Okay,
a
but you're not
break.
okay. Captainism
So
and
going
Muratis.
back to it, I think that's what Ruiz doesn't
Yeah,
have. He doesn't
yeah,
have that thing. He doesn't have that favor.
yeah.
Maybe I don't know what it is, but the sun doesn't shine on him
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, it's not falling for him right now, because I mean, if you look at even how like a guy like Jasper Visa came through, he
Yeah.
was almost like when my
Yes.
left field saw, and he had that Moraticism, and then now and Russ, even at that time, he was also in those conversations because he was
I
showing.
think Visa was
If we
the
think back,
same, but Visa broke out of that and
yeah.
became a favorite. So I feel like Roos is still in that fight where he's trying to
Mm,
break out of that and become a favorite. It's just like
yeah,
Van Staden also was on the fringes. Then he had to break through to become part of this group. So I
yeah,
just feel like they're on the periphery of the group and they just need to break into the squad and start making the match day 23. It's like
yeah,
Elric Lowe is also going to get the same thing.
yeah.
You look how
Yeah.
good has that guy been. I think he's only got 3 test caps.
Yeah. And he's been good.
So yeah, he's been good for quite some time now. So
Yeah.
I just feel Roos is falling into that.
Yeah, but look, it's only game one, right? So
Yeah,
I think only after game one, maybe the picture will be different, depending on the threats and challenges that Ireland pose, because I think, right now, probably, they it's all about just getting that win, and for me, that's all that matters.
yeah. And do you
At the
think
end of
we'll
the
get the
day,
win? Do you think we'll get the win?
look, all I'm going to say is that I don't want us to be too confident, and too
Yeah,
cocky about it because, yes, we are the best team in the world, but, Ireland are a serious team which we haven't beaten. I
yeah.
think it's 3 games that we haven't beaten them, that we've played them. So this is not an easy test match, So yeah, and it's going to be experience for some of the guys as well. The guys that are coming through, the
Yeah.
Sachas, even the Murats in that sort of cauldron as well. So yeah, and the rest of the guys, like the Steenekamp as well. But then the rest of the guys, they've been in those sort of positions. So I think we're fully equipped to win this one, definitely. But now it's all going to be about performances at the end of the day with these selections, and the guys
I
that have
won't,
missed out.
yeah, I won't lie. I don't, I think we're at risk of losing the first test.
Yeah,
I believe the
hence why.
second test will win. I believe the second one, no matter the outcome of the first one, the second
Yeah,
one I feel like we'll win. Because if we lose, we'll be reactionary and then we'll win.
yeah,
If we win,
yeah,
we'll get momentum and carry on. But we're
yeah.
also not playing at Ellis Park, and I feel like a lot of these stadiums are also unlucky, which is
Mm,
something that also goes to the win percentages, especially there down in Durban. The win percentage is not very good, but
yeah,
I guess we'll see. In terms of
yeah.
the debate of the best team in the world, which has been, it's been resparked. Some overseas players, Warburton saying that it's Ireland. Guys can claim it's Ireland. They've beaten us at the World
The
Cup.
guy hasn't won a World Cup. What is he talking about? I'm sorry, but he hasn't won a World Cup, man. You must wait a minute.
My thing is, it's even what Sway says. New Zealand is always going to be the benchmark. We're going to measure ourselves in the rugby
Yeah,
championship. We're not going to measure ourselves against
yes.
Ireland anytime soon.
For
You
me,
know,
this one is just with islands is to just you
yeah,
know so they must keep quiet. You know what I mean? That's what we want. We just want to shut them up for once and for all. But yes, we've always the benchmark. Chorus. It's always been
yeah,
you know against New Zealand. If you can beat New Zealand twice, of which we'll get to that later as the season develops,
yeah.
but that's what makes you the best team in the world. You know.
Even themselves, they fell to New Zealand when it mattered the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even this thing of who's the better team, can you be the better team if you lost? So if Ireland had won the World Cup, could we still say if we beat them
Mm,
in
mm,
the group stages
mm.
and then they
Yeah.
won the
You
World
see?
Cup, could we say
You
that
see?
we the best team? So
No.
I'm not necessarily on board with the idea that even though you lose, you're still a better team because the better teams tend to win.
Yeah.
So I mean, even guys can say, "Oh, Six Nations, Six Nations." You're playing Italy, man. Like
Yeah.
it's get a grip. You're playing.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's not the same. You know what I mean. Like we're playing New
Yeah.
Zealand, we're playing Argentina, we're playing Australia.
Australia.
It's it's
Yeah.
it's 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 never gonna be. It's never gonna impress me, to be honest. I won't lie. It's
Yeah.
never. So I'll
Look,
I'll, I'll, f- I'll firmly
the box are
back.
the world champions. At the
Yeah,
end of the day, regardless of even what happens to the series, the box are still the world champions. But like I say, for me, this one, it's more about just that it's that personal thing because they know they let one go in the World Cup.
yeah.
You know what I mean? If you watch that back, you can see that. Look, that should have been a W for the box. But how it played out, it worked out. But they just need to correct this thing, That's what it is. And the corrections are more personal because it's just down to those little execution
Yeah.
details. So they still Box are still the best team, and it's the Green Machine's time. For me, that's what I want to see. It's the start of the dynasty, and there's no better way to kick it off than
Yeah.
against Ireland. Where
Yeah.
yeah, it's not nothing more is acceptable. But this one is, I think, the biggest defining in terms of the sort of this team because they've got the experience, they've been there. And this is more about them, to
Yeah.
put this whole series away for me. That's really what it is. But if they
Yeah.
can't, then the noise won't stop. The questions will keep
Yeah.
coming.
I'm just hoping with the new coaches, the new game plan, that first 20 is just going to be the most important.
Yeah,
If they can settle, if they can adjust to the new game plan, then I think from then they can push on in this whole series.
yeah,
But that's it from me. I just have to sit and believe and hope that those first 20 go well, and it
yeah.
dictates how the
That
rest
it comes
goes.
together. Yeah, look, I think that's what it's about. Is who settles quickest, and and lands the punches. Because
Yeah.
there's one thing throwing the punch, but landing them. We got to land more than we throw. Land more than we miss, basically. So yeah, but Box all the way, man. No, it's the
Last
Box.
last last bit of discussion. Last bit of discussion. I know this Currie Cup, but teams aren't out, so I guess we'll just enjoy that. We'll take it for
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah,
But
yeah.
another debate that was going on was the Masuku exclusion, playing Hendrickse. Is Hendrickse 12? Was it a failed experiment? Uh, certain Bok legends believe there should be a cap on age of fly halves that
Uh,
are maybe in the third position,
no,
even though he was an old
no.
man himself. But he said the starters can be any age, apparently, well, from what he was saying. How do you
Yeah,
feel?
yeah.
How do you feel
No.
about them bringing in guys like Sacha, who we've now seen is starting against Ireland, like Hendrickse,
Yeah,
when Masuku
yeah,
seems like he's resigned to a Portugal test, which is that
yeah,
even from what Rassie says, it looks like he's going to play in the Portugal test.
yeah. Yeah, look, there's many ways to spin a story. You know what I mean? The reality is this. You know, it's like, yeah, he's good, but we don't want him to be the one to play. You know,
Yeah,
and we don't want to take the chance. For me, all I'm saying is, look at what he did. You're telling me those were not pressure moments. You know, you're gonna
but
tell
they
me,
were
yeah,
saying it was
no,
against Vodacom Cup
yeah,
level.
no, but is it not a pressure moment? You understand what I'm saying? Because I'd be right if he can't do it against Vodacom Cup. You understand what I'm saying? And then
Yes,
he's doing it. He's a pro. You know, give the kid a chance. You know what I mean? Let's see that you are right.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Let's see that you're right. That's all that I'm saying is that let's see that you're right because we can't now base things off potential. There's so many things that you can know. There's a
yeah.
potential for everyone's of course a
Though, if we're
potential.
talking potential, Cohen Ball should have led us
You,
to the last Rugby World Cup.
you understand what I'm
If
saying?
we're talking
If
about
we
projections out of high school, he was gonna take us. He was gonna
you,
take us to two World Cups.
you understand? Okay, fine. Not saying that. So, like we've spoken about Sacha. We're not saying that he is a bad player. We know he's got that thing. The thing is, he's got age on his side. At the end of the day, he's still got age on his side. So fine. And the other guy doesn't really. And the other guy, he's also been performing at the top level consistently. Against these other guys. You know what I mean? So what are you like? You know?
My thing is, I can understand it was first how I was feeling when Masuku first came in. I was like, let's not rush him into that position. But when I saw him in pressure moments in the knockout rounds, I was like, he's ready. Just play him. He's ready. Just play him. Because I was
Yeah.
also weary, and that's what they've come and said is that he hasn't been in the elite player development system for as long as Hendrickse, for as long
And
as
who fault
Sacha.
is that? And whose fault is that? And whose
They're
fault is
saying
that?
it's just because he broke onto the scene. So okay, I can understand. I can understand that story. Okay, that's fine. But if we're talking machine for machine, man for man,
yeah,
Masuku is a better fly half than both of
yeah,
them in terms of
yes,
Sacha's been playing 12 and he's been playing 15 and he plays those very well. But in terms of playing fly half, he hasn't really played fly half in a long time.
yeah,
And when he hasn't really done it well. You know what I mean?
yeah. He hasn't done those things that Masuku's done. He hasn't, led the team. He hasn't driven that car right,
Yeah.
which Masuku did. So he's proven he can drive. That's the facts that they cannot take away. So that's why we're going to talk about age. You understand? That's why we're going to talk about those other things because we know he can drive, but now we're going to find reasons why he mustn't drive. So I don't agree with that, man. Like all I'm saying is, okay, look, hopefully he does get that Portugal test, and
Yeah.
I just
It
want him
looks
to
like he
tear it
is.
up. I just want him to tear it up so much that you need something different that's going to go into the rugby
But
championship.
this is exactly then Victor Medfield is gonna say, like he said, it doesn't matter because it's just Portugal.
You see, so then why are you putting him in it doesn't matter tests? But you get what I'm saying? No, man.
So
Like,
either way he can't win. Either way he can't
yeah,
win. If he plays badly against Portugal, they're gonna say, look, he can't
I
even perform
know
against Portugal. If he
against
plays good
Portugal.
against Portugal, they're gonna say it's
It's
just
just
Portugal.
Portugal.
That's why they should have given him the Wales
No,
test.
thank you. If they backed the other fellas so much, you understand?
Yeah.
So okay, no, let's see what you do. And then if he doesn't perform to standard like a la Rob Dupree back in 2018, throw him to the wilderness like you did with Robert Dupree. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody's gonna cry foul because we would
Yeah.
have seen it for ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? Because right now it's pure, is hearsay, and nobody's saying that it's definitely that sort of form is going to translate onto test level. It may not,
Yeah,
but we
it
want to
won't,
see if it will
but
not.
it won't be the same,
It won't be
but
the
we want to
same.
see something, and I believe we will
Yeah,
see something. So, I
yeah.
mean, I
You know,
guess,
like I just want to see, I just want to see Masugu just at 10. It's gonna do so much for so many people.
yeah,
Like and not they and yes, Portugal he'll get his start, but I see him against Australia. A different picture.
yeah,
We need different pictures. So and we need to be able to have what happened to having different bows. Different
yeah.
different shots. Is it strings to your bow or whatever? But you know what I mean. Different weapons. Different weapons. Why aren't we? What happened to having different weapons? To know that okay, no, we've got this guy, and with
Yeah,
this guy we can do this. We got that guy. With this guy we can do that.
yeah. Yeah, I believe in
So
that. Also, the age thing, I'm not a big proponent
guys,
of
you
that.
can
Age
play,
and
my man.
projection.
You can
Just
play,
play the
man. There's
guy.
guys
Just
that
play the
are
guy
30
who's been
something, they're
playing.
playing,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Come on, man.
It's the
But
same thing like Monet Stein. We could have said this guy is too old. Why are we bringing him here to Lions
back.
Test and bringing him back? There was younger
No, no,
guys.
no, he's been there, he's done that. No, he's been there,
Yeah,
he's done that. But he's been there, he's done that because he was given the opportunity to been there and done that. So been there and done that for the other guys as well. That's all I'm saying.
any closing remarks for this week, Chris?
No, been there, done that, but all the box, speed machine. Let's go.
Let's go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, guys.